Hi, I'm Brittany from the Yoga Underground, and today we're going to work on just some stretches you can do quickly at home to ease low back pain. I have noticed recently that even if my low back doesn't hurt, sometimes it feels a little bit tight, almost like it gets kind of locked. And the more I stretch my glutes and even especially like my IT band, the more relief and release I feel in my low back. So this is just something easy that you can do at home, maybe even before you go to bed or when you wake up, just to kind of loosen up your low back area. So we'll start out lying down. You might plant your feet and with your knees pointed up, tuck your tailbone a little bit just to kind of ground and root through your low back. It might feel nice to rock your weight side to side. And then keep your left foot planted and figure four your right ankle on top. Then bring your left foot a little bit closer to your bum. Keep your legs in this shape and let them drop over to that left side. Now, rather than focusing on a twist here, try to keep as much of your right hip, like your right butt cheek, on the ground as well. I like to grab my right ankle with my left hand and then take my right hand and kind of pull that right hip a little closer to the ground. Good. Give it several big breaths here. You should feel this in the IT band, kind of through the outside of the hip. And over the next breath or two, keep your legs in this figure four shape. Lift them back up to the center. You might flex that right foot and then just let your legs rock side to side a few times, maybe all the way over to kind of massage out the sides of the hips. And then it might feel nice to pause in the center, almost like a reverse reclined pigeon, grabbing your left leg. Letting your low back really press down into the ground. And then before switching sides, let your legs unwind and plant your feet. We're going to take some windshield wiper knees, but scoot your feet out to the edges of your mat. So your pinky toes touch the edges. With legs wide in this stance, it gives your hips more room to release in the windshield wiper motion. And just let your legs kind of flop over to the right and flop over to the left. Settling back into the center, we'll just repeat that same thing on the other side. So feet about hip distance apart, tuck your tailbone, press your low back down, feel it nice and grounded there. And then figure four that left ankle on the right thigh. You might flex the foot, scoot your right foot a little bit closer to your bum, and then lift that foot up so that your legs can stay in this shape, but drop over now to the right side. Keep your left hip as grounded as you can, maybe press down with your left hand, and you might grab that left ankle with your right hand. And the closer my left hip gets to the ground here, the more sensation I feel through the IT band. And we'll give it another few moments here, just until you feel about equal to the other side. And then staying in that figure 4 shape, lift back up to the center, flex your left foot, let your legs rock side to side. Pausing in the center, you might grab that right leg now. Unwinding your legs. We'll take a few more windshield wipers here before switching it up. We'll come up to a seated place in just a second. Remember, the wide feet here will give your hips a bit more room to breathe. And when you're ready, hug your knees in. You might take a couple rocks or maybe even like a little baby plow pose, sending your legs up over your head. It doesn't matter if you go all the way. Just look for a sensation here to release the low back. So I like to hover my feet up above the ground. You could bend your knees, just whatever feels nice. Eventually, rocking up to a seated place. Sit nice and tall, maybe just with your legs crossed. Grab your knees with your palms and start to make some circles with your torso. You might notice one place in particular feels really nice. Feel free to stay there, especially if it feels kind of sticky. You could press your legs away from one another and lean off to the opposite side. And then you might even switch your legs and do the same thing. You'll notice, depending on which leg is in front, you'll get different sensation through the low back and through the backs of the hips. Good, and over the next few moments, we'll crawl forward and find a tabletop. Spread your fingers out nice and wide. If your wrists are feeling tired or tender at all, you might slide them a little bit in front of your shoulders, and then start to move around through the spine. You might go up and down like a regular cat-cow, or feel free to take some more asymmetrical, kind of different movement. Make a wave in each direction, move side to side, or take a barrel roll. But after getting kind of loose through the spine, come up onto your fingertips and scoot your hands back toward your legs so you're in like a really squished cat position. And then walk your hands over to the right side. You should feel the sensation mostly in the left side low back. And stay on your fingertips and start to walk it over toward the left side, really rounding still through your spine. Good. Still on the fingertips, come back to the center. And then stay with your knees down, toes tucked under, stretching through the soles of the feet just a bit and also through the quads. So the more you release the big muscles that are connected to your pelvis, the more that can help low back pain. So you might stay with your toes tucked, tuck your tailbone, and then lean back onto your hands or maybe drop down to your elbows. Push your chest through your shoulders. You could rock your head side to side. Good. Lifting back up to the center. Untuck your toes. We'll find just a quick child's pose. Slide your arms forward. Start to walk your hands up and then sit with your legs off to one side. So let's bring the right leg as if it were going to go into pigeon, and the left leg is hurtled back. Taking a quick twist over that right leg. As you come to the center, take your left leg, unwind it, and stack it on top of the right. So we're moving into a fire log pose, stacking your shins. Now, if you sit like this and you're not getting sensation through your outer left hip, flex the foot and slide the ankle so that it clears this bottom knee, and then start to lean forward, and I promise you'll get a little bit more sensation. Now, you might fold your chest forward. You can also stay upright and move side to side, but we're looking for a release through the left hip and left side low back. So I like to hinge forward and then off to the right side, the same direction as my top foot. Lifting back up to the center, take this top foot and plant it down. So now the left knee is pointed up and we'll twist across that left leg. Good. Keep your legs like this. Take a counter twist over to the other side. And then as you come back to the center, we'll switch. So now that left leg will be in like a pigeon shape. The right leg is hurtled back. Starting again with a twist. And as you release back to the center, unwind your right leg, stack it on top of the left. Maybe slide the ankle so that it clears that bottom left knee. You might take some side bending here. Or maybe start to hinge forward and now off to the opposite side, off to that left side. Looking for release sensation through the right side low back and the right hip. Begin to gently rise up. Slide your right foot down to plant, knee points up. Twist over that right leg. Counter twist over to the left. And then you'll unwind your right leg. We'll head right into a pigeon shape here with that left leg forward. Hinging down here as much as you're comfortable. Good. Begin to rise up. Swing your right leg around so that you're in almost like a seated tree shape. And grab your left lower leg. You can reach around the shin or beneath the calf. I like to grab around the shin, sit really tall, and then rock it side to side. When you're ready, extending your left fingertips out to the side, roll onto the hip, massaging out your piriformis. I've recently learned that a tight piriformis can cause just as much sensation, unwelcome sensation through the sciatic nerve because our piriformis, that sciatic nerve goes right through the muscle. So if your piriformis is tight, it can cause as much damage to the nerve as if you had a bulging disc. So massaging out the piriformis is super awesome for your low back and for your hips. Good, and then we'll just switch to the other side. Finding now a right side pigeon here to start with. Giving it another big breath or two. When it feels about equal to the other side, rise up, swing the left leg around. Sitting nice and tall, we'll grab now this right lower leg. Lift through your chest, give it a few good rocks side to side. Eventually extending those right fingertips out to the side, rolling out through the piriformis. Good. Give it one more big breath here. Lifting back up to the center. It might feel nice to extend both legs, shake them up and down, get a little bit of fresh blood. Coming to a seated place, take a moment just to thank your body. Hopefully having found some relief in your low back today. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.